So what is it that has these people living such long lives? Let's look at the Hunzas, okay? The Hunzas are interesting because they live at high elevation. They live up in somewhere up at the base of the Himalayas, right? High in the mountains. And they grow fruit in the winter, in the summertime. In the summertime, they have apricots, which they're actually famous for, the Hunza apricots. They grow other stone fruits. They probably have cherries and apples, things like that. But it's a relatively short growing season. And once it's over, they don't have those things. I think they store what they can for the rest of the year, because most of the year they can't grow anything. They live at an elevation where there's no trees. They don't have firewood. They don't have natural gas. They don't have propane. They don't have coal. They don't have access to these things. So they eat very little cooked food. They've never eaten much cooked food because they simply don't have the resources to cook, or never did in the past. Again, I don't know what they're doing now. They live in a place where the air is pure, where they get plenty of sunlight, because almost everyone is involved in some kind of physical labor. Okay, there are no office jobs, right? There's no bank. There's no fast food restaurants. Everyone lives in nature, and they grow their own food, and they tend to some animals, and they scrape out a living from the land. And so everyone's involved in using their bodies. So they're all getting activity, fresh air, sunlight, pure water. Okay, they don't eat a lot of food because they don't have a lot of food. Okay, so they're minimizing their caloric intake, eating no more than they really need. They run out of food every winter, right? So you're talking about having slim pickings in January, February, March. They don't eat anything for at least a month every year. Everybody fasts because there's no food. They just rest. It's like they hibernate, right? They all get in bed and they just rest, and they do as little as they have to. It's cold. No one was going to be outside if they don't have to be outside. There's nothing to do, and there's no food. They don't have firewood, so they just bundle up, they hunker down, and they try to stay warm, and they don't eat anything. So they're cleansing their body every single year, okay? This is why I believe they live as long as they do, not because they're consuming a little bit of goat's milk, all right? Let's look at all the factors involved. Any questions about these folks? No? All right, well, hope that's been interesting for you. See you next time.